Testing 1 2 3. 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 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Friday Night Hockey is on the air as the Delaware Thunder look to capture their first win of the season against the surging Watertown Wolves. Welcome into the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Dave Garson, joined by my broadcast partner Mike Basile. And Mike, it's been obviously a rough start to the season for the Thunder. What do they need to change? And I'm talking incremental changes with this team tonight against Watertown.
Well, it starts with the special teams for me. You kind of saw it against Danbury. That first game last Friday night, Delaware's on the power play a couple times in the first, can't score, and then it goes the other way. One power play to start the second period for Danbury, they put it in. So special teams hasn't been so special for this Thunder team, obviously, thus far. And if they could turn that around and get, some timely power play goals like we talked about, a penalty kill when they need, they could have had 3-4 wins by now. Those Binghamton games were one-goal games here. Absolutely,
and we are so happy that they're not playing Binghamton tonight. We got a little sick and tired of seeing those guys. So a new opponent, but let's talk about the Thunder. Some new faces here this evening, including one you really want to talk about.
I love Yanni Larakos. I think he's a great player. He's a veteran. He comes in here and, he grabs the marker. Hey, guys, we're going to do this, show you that. He's a veteran. He scores goals. He's big, not afraid to throw the body. He's going to make an instant impact tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he's pulling a puck out of the net his first with the Thunder.
That would be great, as this team has struggled to score at times this season. Now let's switch to the goaltending. A little bit of up and down with who would be starting tonight. It's going to be Mike Constantino. But overall, the goalies have really kept this team in many of the games.
Mike Constantino last Saturday night was phenomenal in Danbury. You look at those goals he gave up, and you can't blame a goalie for any of them. He made 3 or 4 grade A spectacular saves. And Mike Constantino is now backed up by Jacob Caffrey, who's a very good goalie. SPHL time, played a little bit in Paris this year as well. A big goalie, and he's still quick.
And let's take a step back. As some of our fans might be new to the Federal Prospects Hockey League. There's a lot of movement of the rosters, as we know as broadcasters, barely getting the rosters before the game starts. How does that impact the team as far as getting that chemistry together, especially a team that's on a losing streak like the Thunder?
Well, it's a quick gel locker room. It really is. I know Yanni Larakos came in here, Jacob Caffrey came in here, and it seems like he's been here all season already. These guys find a spot, they find a role. Everybody's tight-knit group. They go out to, team dinners, this, that, work out together, and it just quickly becomes a bonding experience. Once you're in that locker room, you're a member of the team, and I think it kind of feels that way. And I think it'll show on the ice as the season starts to go. This team, like you heard in Coach Penz's interview, they're taking steps in the right direction, and getting Yanni Larakos and Jacob Caffrey is 2 big steps.
And we've definitely noticed that over the last few weeks. Of course, you were with the team on the road last week. Let's transition, talk a little bit about the Watertown Wolves. They come in 9-3. By winning percentage, the top team in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. What should we expect from them? They have some big names on this team. They're missing their leading scorer, but they have other guys to step up.
Yeah, it's Colin Chamelka for me. He's going to have to step up tonight. Wednesday night, they lost to Danbury 4-1. Kind of missed McDonald there. They missed their starting goaltender. Now it's Greg Hussey in net. So, with the call-up and everything that happened for this team, scrambling, they got Brent Clarkey in the lineup tonight as an emergency player. So they're short, obviously, and this is a good chance for Delaware to dump on them early and stay on that gas pedal. But, like you said, they're still dangerous with Colin Chamelka and Jimmy Lodge, and Justin Coachman's a seasoned vet.
Absolutely. Should be a great hockey game as the Delaware Thunder take on the Watertown Wolves for the first time this season. We'll be back. We'll continue here on the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Much more from the Thunderdome coming up. And welcome back to the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Dave Garston here as we continue to get you warmed up for Friday night hockey as the Delaware Thunder take on the Watertown Wolves. As we mentioned earlier, Watertown coming in at 9-3. Took a defeat to Danbury 4-1 on Wednesday night. As Delaware will go from here this evening on a nice little road trip up to New York to finish the weekend against Watertown. Couple new faces in the lineup tonight for Delaware. Number 7 will be Stephen Flego, the defenseman. Also, Ryan Swain will be wearing number 20. Adamo Aslan, who has played a few games so far this year, will be wearing number 8. And Yanni Larakos, number 19, is one to keep your eye on, coming over from the Birmingham Bulls of the SPHL. The teams are heading onto the ice for some of the pregame festivities. And we're a few minutes away from puck drop as the Watertown Wolves battle against your Delaware Thunder in front of an ice-sized crowd here at the Thunderdome. Be back in just a moment with a few final points before we get started here, and then we'll have the puck drop right after this. You're listening to the Holiday Inn Express pregame show on DelawareThunder.com. Coming up next, your Delaware Thunder player introductions. Then we'll have our national anthem and the start of the game against the Watertown Wolves here on DelawareThunder.com. And as we wait the introductions here, we'll get you your starting goaltenders. For the Delaware Thunder, it will be Mike Constantino, who has played very well this year, although the numbers don't bear that out. 0-3-1, a 5.36 goals against average, and an 88% save percentage. He will go against Greg Hussey for the Watertown Wolves, who comes in with a record of 4-2. The Wolves coach is actually skating out tonight. That's Brent Clark. Likely hear his number called quite a bit, number 39. He might have a little bit of favoritism towards himself as we await slight delay here on introductions. A growing crowd here at the Thunderdome. The Thunder at 0-9-1 in dire need of that first win The next closest team in the Federal Prospects Hockey League already has 5 victories, and this Watertown Wolves team has 9 of them. As we get set here for the Thunder to enter the ice surface. And as I mentioned, you'll see several new faces out there this evening, including Yanni Larakos, who, from all accounts, across the various teams he's played for, including the Birmingham Bulls, quite the player and should bring some much-needed offensive firepower to this Thunder lineup. But they will go against a tough opponent in Watertown. Several players that have lit the lamp pretty regularly this year, but their number 1 scorer, Justin McDonald, number 23, will not be in the lineup tonight. But a couple others to keep your eye on. Cole McKechnie, number 21. And Colin Chemelka is another forward on this team who has 9 goals on the season, number 25. Alexander Jemayoff as well, number 71, 9 goals, 11 assists on the young season. Joey Brennan getting introduced along with John Moritz, Brendan Lucchese, and Artem Alekin, who has played well of late. Yanni Larakos, number 19, is going to wear tonight without the nameplate. So much shift in rosters. And there's Mike Constantino, who will get the start in net. And we'll pause here for the singing of our national anthem, and then we'll have puck drop right after that. There you have it, another great rendition of the national anthem. Sarah Long there doing a great job. And we're just about set for hockey. Dave Garson, Mike Basile here with the broadcast exclusively on DelawareThunder.com. And Mike, it will be critical, as usual, for the Thunder to get off to a quick start this evening.
Yeah, and you said it. You know, it is crucial for that. But this is also a team that scored the couple first goals here that we've seen. I want to see them play in the second and third with that same energy. Now a full bench, a couple veterans here. I think you're going to see a different team tonight, Dave.
Absolutely, and in the games I've called here at home, they've started off well with early goals for the Thunder, and that has dissipated quickly. As you mentioned, they need to build upon those leads. Artem Alekin on the right wing side. To start, Larakos will be on the left wing, and Brandon Lucchese will take the draw against D. Constantino, and the puck comes back here to Troy Taylor. And a cross-ice pass to Stelkefta, and it's punched forward, and an offsides touched up there. Once again, so just underway here, Dave Garson, Mike Basile, an opening face-off, and an offsides to get us started here. That was Day that went offsides on that play, Brandon Day. One forward there by the Watertown Wolves, wearing their road whites, trimmed in the blue, and a little bit of gray piping on those jerseys and socks. Puck gets pumped out to center ice. Laracos moving in, tried to go from left to right, and lost the puck. Brandon Lucchese now behind the net. He's bumped off, and that's going to be a penalty. And I believe this is going to go against Troy Taylor, who is shaking his head like, whoa, was that a trip? Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-minute minor there for the Wolves, and Delaware will go to the first power play bright and early here, and you know, it's just anytime the stick's in that leg area, you're putting yourself in danger of a penalty, and that's exactly what happened there.
And you see big number 20 Ryan Swain coming out on this power play. And Swain 5'9", 220, so he'll bring the power. Lucchese will take the draw. Swain at the point here. Laracos out there with Noah Wild. Laracos to the point now to Swain. Cross ice, there's a shot from the point, it goes wide. Off of another newcomer, Flego, and Swain will retreat into his defensive zone. Power play just underway. Shy of a minute in, first period action. Glad you could join us here on DelawareThunder.com. Dave Garson and Mike Basile. And here comes Swain. He pauses along the top of the circle. Dishes to Laracos, back to the point. And Flego gets it to Swain. Swain inside of Lucchese. Puck bounces off McKechnie's stick. Now to Laracos. Laracos moving towards the point. Oh, and that's a turnover. And coming back the other way on the move is Michael Mann with the bushy hair sticking out the back of the helmet. That one was steered wide by the starting goaltender for the Thunder, Mike Constantino. And we'll talk more about him as the night moves on. He's played very well. Adam Morgan back to number 6 tonight with a full head of steam. From the left side into the right wing corner now. He pauses. Pushes back, that's Joey Brennan. Winds, fires, deflected wide. Liam Little had a stick on it for just a second. Now a cross ice pass to Moritz. Moritz a shot, oh, and it was in the pads of Hussey. He was able to corral it and cover with 43 seconds left on the power play.
They threw a curveball on us, Dave. That's Cohen. That's Luke Cohen in net.
Late change.
Late change, okay. Yes. It's the second time we've had a lineup switch up on us here in net here.
Different times. So that's Luke Cohen. Even though the other roster had 30, nevertheless, it's Luke Cohen. And that one's cleared all the way down. Troy Taylor, who we thought that penalty was against, they actually called it against DiCostanzo. Not George Costanza, DiCostanzo. Get that right. We always get our Seinfeld references in when we can. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. 2:10 into the period. Here's Liam Little. The diminutive forward. Dishes back to Adam Morgan. Morgan circles, does a little pirouette. Top of the circle, wrister, and it was gloved down by Cohen and laying right there in front, and it's finally cleared out by Chamelka.
There we go. A little bit of get into the net by the Thunder on this power play. You can hear the Thunder bench saying, shoot, shoot. There's a couple bodies in front. Get it there. Cohen made the save, but it bounced free.
And the power play is now expired. Chamelka lost it there. It goes to Lane King, who gets it up to Lodge. And now King, the assistant captain, throwing it up. Deflected in by Jamayoff, who's one of the leading goal scorers on this team with 9 goals. And actually, of those dressed tonight, leads the team in goals. Trying to chip it out in front. Opportunity there for Johnny Bonta, but it'll come out to the neutral zone. So a little bit of a feeling out process early on, especially with the power play as McNally dumps it in. Cohen behind the net, backhands it dangerously to Bonta, but Bonta gets it. Bonta will dish back behind the net to King. King trying to settle things down to Jamayoff. Jamayoff wildly throws that pass right to Asselin, wearing number 8 tonight. Alekin gets it back. Joey Brennan wide open at the point. Takes a weak shot, and it's easily steered away by the goaltender Cohen. Thrown back in front. Lucchese steered it wide.
Ooh, I don't think he realized how much time he had, Dave. He could have stopped, settled that, brought it back to the backhand. He had a ton of time.
He had the luxury of time and space, which is critical for a hockey player. Lodge, pass it to Jamayoff, and now it'll come back out. And here's Laracos moving up that right wing side, and he tried the wrist shot, and it got caught up in some paraphernalia of Schlicketta, and it's thrown out in front of Lucchese. He lost it. Back at the point, Flego easily gloved down by the goaltender, Cohen.
Well, it's been all Thunder here. It has been all Thunder. I know they had the power play, but still, even with that, the pressure. I like this line, Lirakos, Lucchese, and Alekin. It's dangerous.
It is, and it's impressive to see the speed and the offensive zone time that they've been getting. It's Liam Little out there with Morgan and Noah Wild now. Liam Little winning the faceoff forward. And it's taken there now by Schlicketta. Now to Delina, wearing number 16. Trying to throw it in front of McKechnie. It comes right out to Adam Morgan. And Morgan skating well early in this game. Trying to get in on that left wing side. He lost the puck. Noah Wild will throw it across. Flego just tries to chip it. And back out come the Watertown Wolves, who have not established any offensive zone pressure to this point. Laporte, Justin Laporte, trying to get to that puck. And it's pushed back. Right back to the stick of Laporte. Tried to center. Oh, comes out right in front. And taking the shot there was McKechnie, who is very dangerous. 4 goals, 9 assists, but an easy stop for Mr. Constantino.
You said it perfectly. He's very dangerous, McKechnie. And that shot comes from a dangerous area, but you see Mike Constantino square to the puck, able to make the save with no rebound.
McKechnie will take this draw, and Constantino has had great positioning throughout this season. Square to the shooter, cutting down the angles very well. Aslan throwing it up, and it gets to Brandon Beard. Brandon Beard tried to dipsy-do. He was knocked off the puck and then shouldered by Coachman. Got to keep your eye out for him. A little bit of the feisty player, to say the least. That's Coachman, who lost it now into the corner. Timothy Payne. He'll wrap it around to Aslan. Aslan, oh, he tried to chip it off the boards. Having none of that was Ash. And now Payne to Moritz. Good defensive pair. Aslan gets the puck on the far side, eludes a check, but didn't bring the puck with him. And getting tied up over there with Brennan Ash, and now here comes Lodge. Keep your eye on him. Lodge moving in, and a wrist shot, and a nice save right off the crest by Constantino, back out the other way. That was Payne getting into Aslan. Aslan stops, and he'll throw it over. A good pass to Marchicello, who's back in the lineup. Timothy Marchicello, number 21, and now Bonta on this near side. And that pass deflected right back into his own zone.
Delaware's been good in the neutral zone this game so far. It's a lot of clamming and climbing in there to cause disruption, and that's how they're able to get their easy breakouts.
Jamayoff taking off the puck as we're 6 minutes into this first period. No score from the Thunderdome. Delaware Thunder and the Watertown Wolves, their first matchup of the season. Brent Clark, who also leads this team behind the bench usually. Jamayoff try to throw it out in front, and Jimmy Lodge could not get to the puck, and the Thunder will pitch it out to the neutral zone area and all the way down now, so they'll make a line change. Still no score in this one, but you have to be impressed, Mike, so far by the Thunder and their offensive zone forecheck.
Yeah, I really like how they've been playing in the O-zone tonight, Delaware. It's shots on net. It's crashing the net. Cohen's made a couple good saves. Nothing too dangerous, but definitely a few good ones.
That was a lead pass to Mann, and he is roughed off the puck. A nice play by Stephen Flego, a newcomer to the lineup, as we mentioned. And Troy Taylor pitching it back. Slakeka rolling it all the way to Mann. And you can't miss him with the big bushy hair sticking out the back of that blue helmet, as they wear the blue helmets and the white jerseys. Thunder in their home blacks. And speaking of Mann, he was moving in, but rolled it all the way around behind. Morocco's had it, and now the Thunder will attempt to get out of the zone. Mann kept it in for just a second. Now he turns and pops. Here he goes, top of the circle. A wrister off the elbow of Constantino and up and out of play, as Mann was taken out nicely by Noah Wild in the corner.
Wild and Mann gonna have a little talk. It was a good hit by Noah Wild. He finished it for sure, as we'll get our first media break of this evening. But Dave, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about Star Wars night, and we're doing a little something special next week.
Tell me all about it, Mike.
It's Star Wars night, and we just talked about it. The holiday season's coming up. We're going to have a canned food drive, all right, at the front door here for our game next Friday night against the Binghamton Black Bears. So if you come to the game, please bring some type of canned food. We're trying to give back. Obviously, a time of year, not everybody's as, blessed as others. So we're trying to make sure everyone has a good holiday and is able to have time with their family and enjoy a meal together. So Star Wars night and a canned food drive. Good time to come out and enjoy the game here.
Always a great event whenever you see it throughout minor league hockey. Of course, the food drive, but also Star Wars night. Always fun to see with the fans what type of getup they put on. But to transition here, good start to this hockey game by the Thunder. And as you said, you want to see a full 60-minute effort. So they can have a good first period, and they can even take a lead, but can they build upon it? And off the draw here, Jemayoff has it for the Watertown Wolves. Rolling around behind the net. That was Lodge. This line has looked decent so far. Had a little bit of offensive zone pressure. Jemayoff tied up with Adam Morgan. And then Lodge had to dish it out to center ice. And that's where Lane King, who gets plenty of ice time, the assistant captain for this team, wearing number 9, throws it cross ice to Jemayoff. And that eludes him. Noah Wild feeds Morgan. Morgan one-on-one with King. Here goes Morgan. Oh, and he couldn't get much on it. Still has it. Threw it out in front, and it's rattling, and it is in the pads of Cohen. Oh, boy, he tried to dangle that one in, but Cohen says, no, sir, to Adam Morgan and Noah Wild.
That's what we need to see more from Adam Morgan. First shot gets blocked. He works, gets it right back to the front of the net, and then Noah Wild on a second effort had a second poke at it, but the big body of Cohen stayed on top of the puck.
Cohen, certainly a big goalie, wearing those big white pads. Had a little trouble with that shot from the point off the stick of Ryan Swain, who hails from Jackson, New Jersey, one of the newcomers here, sporting number 20 in the white threads trimmed in gray. Bonta with the pass to Jemayoff. Jemayoff at top of the circle. Oh, he makes the dangle backhander and he scores. Jemayoff, a brilliant move, went forehand, backhand, and that's goal number 10 on the season for Alexander Jemayoff.
Well, we kind of see why he's got 10 goals, huh, Dave? It's a good inside-out move, gets outside leverage, pulls it to the backhand around Nick McNally, throws it over the glove on his backhand of Mike Constantino, and the first real good chance of the night ends up in the Thunder net.
And Mike, you and I know as goaltenders, the backhand shot is one of the more difficult ones to pick up as a goalie, and it looked like Constantino just had no shot at that.
Well, as you know, it comes off different, obviously, than the forehand. It picks up speed. It's tough. It's a tough shot.
Here's another opportunity. Laporte, that one looked to deflect off of Constantino. So the Wolves, who really had not much pressure throughout this first period, get a great opportunity and they score on it, and now it's time for the Thunder to respond.
Well, now let's see what they got, right, Dave? You played a good first period, first good 10 minutes. Let's not stop after you just give up one.
And we'll see what Coach Pence comes up with on the bench. He's back there this evening. Larocco's up at center, tried to get it to Lucchese, but it's picked off. Here's Laporte right along the ice, easily sticked aside by the goaltender. Troy Taylor at the point. He pinches. He'll get support from Chemelka. And now Laporte mixing it up in the corner with Flego a bit. Taylor now on this right high circle. He walks the line, dishes to McKechnie. Oh, and that one sailed high and wide. Back on the other side. As they just keep wrapping around, but they are getting some offensive zone time here, the Wolves. Flego tries to flick it out, and hopefully that is not a penalty. I believe it will be, as it went directly over the net off the stick of Flego. And he is not feeling that good about that one, as the Watertown Wolves will go to the power play on the delay of game call.
Flego not happy about that, as he just chipped it up and out of play. There was pressure, but not a ton, and that's the ones that are frustrating, right? You have a little bit of time, just rimming around.
So Watertown will come out with Lodge, DiCostanzo, and Brent Clark on that right wing. DiCostanzo, who took the penalty early, will take the draw here. He wins it. Clark to the point to King. King slowly walking the line, dishes to Jemayoff. And now King to Clark. Clark waiting patiently into the corner. Jemayoff. Jemayoff into the corner. There's a ring around the rosy here, but they're not getting it into high traffic areas. King at the point, let it loose, but it goes well wide. Into the corner, Lodge. He gets some room, Try to throw it in front to Jamayoff. Nothing doing there. Clark gets it to King. King back to Clark. Right circle into Jamayoff, looking for goal number 2, but a good poke check by DiCostanzo and then cleared down by Noah Wild. And Cohen gets it right back up. Good play by the goaltender. Not even expecting it was Lodge, so he'll circle back into the defensive zone and find his way right in the offensive zone quickly. And here comes Lodge, right in, turns, fires, and it just goes wide. To the point now, King, 9:46 to go in the period. 56 seconds on the power play. Clark trying to get it through the skates of Moritz. Jamayoff now on the backhand pass to Clark. As they rotate, Jamayoff will go towards the net. Back to the point, King, and that one deflected, went over the net, comes right back out into the slot, and Brandon Lucchese will dump it out to the neutral zone.
2 good plays by Lucchese, blocks the shot and clears it, and Yanni Larakos makes a good play of his own, killing some time here as he skates back to the D zone.
Half a minute to go on the power play. Zeroing in on 9 minutes to go in a fast-moving first period, 1-0 Wolves. On the goal by Jamayoff, his 10th of the season. And there's Taylor punching it up to Mann. Mann with some speed on that left wing side, and he's taken off the puck nicely by Alekin, and this power play is just about over. 4-3-2-1, and it's done. Mann still has the puck. Try to center it. Not much doing. The power play's over. And coming out of the box was Flego. Gets it up to Alekin. Alekin moving in, shoots, and he scores! Artem Alekin ties it at 1.
Wow, Dave, I don't know if you saw, but he was looking off the goaltender and absolutely fires it over the blocker, and we're tied at 1 here in Delaware. Artem Alekin's been very good for this team.
Yeah, he was clearly looking to pass or perceptually to Flego, and then he kept those eyes off to the left and fired it to the right side, and he beats the goaltender Cohen to tie it at 1.
Well, as a goalie, you're just peeking past the whole way. You're peeking past. You're looking over that way. And take a look now. It's 1-1. That's a great shot by Alekin, and I say Delaware should have this game back tied up.
Absolutely. Good to see them respond there. McKechnie now off the draw, and the Watertown Wolves look to regroup after they took the early lead by Jamayoff. As that puck goes up and out of play, it will not be a delay of game, and I believe they're going to put this into the offensive zone for the Thunder as the officials shout about it. 8:31 left in this first period, and it's been a good one.
It's been very entertaining, Dave. You know what we've seen a lot of? A bit choppy here and there. This game's been fast, like you said. Fun. You haven't had a second to breathe. That means it's going back and forth.
Yeah, they got the ventilator on me here. It's like the Rocky movie. They're toweling down my head, taking the mouth guard out. Now we're good up here in the booth. Sue Lamb doing a great job producing and on the camera. As always, they are going to finally bring this face-off into the offensive zone. It'll be Liam Little, Adam Morgan, and Noah Wild. Moritz and McNally at the point. Morgan wins it right back to McNally, wearing 5 tonight, lays it on the ice, and it goes into the corner now. Hit a skate in front, I believe, off of McKechnie. And now Slaketa got it up. Delina laying it over to McKechnie. Watch out. He's dangerous, as we mentioned. Back to Taylor. Trying to set up the screen. It bounced off Taylor's stick. Out to center ice. Very good pressure we're noticing by the Thunder. McKechnie tried to get through 3 players, and having none of that was McNally. Now Noah Wild retrieves the puck. Moritz tries to fling it up the right wing side, and now it's picked up by Taylor. Taylor all the way around behind the net. Top of the circle now, dropping it off to Selecta, and it goes into the corner. And Laporte dumps it in, trying to set up the forecheck in the zone, but unable to do so as Delina could not get back. They'll complete a line change, 7:27 to go. First period, Laporte, oh, that looked close to a high stick, but they will wave it off, and the puck does bounce into the netting to the right of Constantino, and we will have a media timeout here with the score 1-1 between the Delaware Thunder and the Watertown Wolves. And so we are back as Mike, well, we don't want to hear that voice singing. We'll take it as a broadcaster, but as a singer, well, that's why you have a day job, they said.
Well, I'm not going to American Idol anytime soon.
Back at the point, here's King trying to set up Jamayoff, looking for his second goal. Brent Clark steers it into the left corner. And rolling around with it there. And moving up to the other side was Jimmy Lodge. Back at the point. Oh, that's a scary play as it just kind of let loose in front of the slot area and bounced around like a pinball. Lodge at the point. Clark chops it in. King will pinch. Turns. He's under pressure from Joey Brennan. Jamayoff somehow backhanded that back behind the net. And trying to get it out was Brennan. Artem Alekin with the goal for the Thunder. It was a beauty. This one will just have enough steam. Nope, they will wave it off at the last second. 6:30 remain. First period, 1-1 hockey game, and it's been a good one.
Yeah, it has been, and the ice is getting a little choppy now here, Dave. Their linesman gave Delaware the benefit of the doubt there.
Moritz will circle back, and they'll decide to go the other way as it's under a little bit of pressure. Once again by Jimmy Lodge. Aslan tried to move in, but he was muscled off the puck. And back out the other way is Day. He lost it, and it's picked off. Swain had an opportunity, but he's got to hurry back as Day, number 13, streaking on in, and he scores. Fired it right post, off the post and in, and a beautiful play by Day, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Wolves.
That one just squeaks through Mike Constantino 5-hole. It looked like J.C. Moritz was going to be going to the box if Mike Constantino did make the save. He got a hack on the hands there of Day, but Day's still able to use that strong edge work to finish 5-hole.
And for Brandon Day, that's goal number 2, point number 8 on the season. And after a strong start and establishing good offensive zone play, the tide has turned a bit here to the Watertown Wolves, who have scored 2 in a row. And with under 6 minutes to go in this first period, they now have a 2-1 lead.
Got a little problem at the bench here, not quite sure. I think Watertown tried to make a change after Delaware, and obviously, as you know, away team's got to make the first change here.
DiCostanzo off the draw, and Day touched it for a second. And back up and in. Marshall Mann dumping it. And now, once again, time for the Thunder to respond as they ice it down. And we'll have a face-off back in the defensive zone. Noah Wild chatting it up with the official.
Wild plays a physical game. We talked a little bit about him throughout the year so far, and he's a guy who gets to the front of the net, throws the body around. He's your grinder type guy, and he plays a big role on this Thunder team.
Absolutely. He's very noticeable out there throughout the games that he has been in. Morgan, who has done this switcheroo again. He's number 6 tonight. He's gone between 6 and 7. DiCostanzo tried to body him up. Liam Little will punch it out to center. And this puck will come right back into the Thunder defensive zone. Brennan will await the line change as Timothy Payne, who has really done a nice job for this team in the few games he has played. Very steady defenseman. There he is, number 24, Timothy Payne, dropping it back to Moritz.
Well, you know Payne's playing with a little bit more of an edge tonight against his former team, the Watertown Wolves.
Yeah, you could say a lot of these players have former teams as they go in and out of rosters. This one punched to the corner. McKechnie lost it. Nice play, speaking of Payne. This one bounces up in the air, and it's gloved down. And laying right there, Slaketa and Chemelka were involved, and I believe they're going to call a hand pass here.
They will.
And another media timeout. This time it's the Watertown Wolves with a 1-goal lead, 2-1, 4:44 to go, first period. So right back to the action, a very short media timeout. The officials want to get to the barbecue after the game. Here's Taylor. And that one is going to disappear.
That puck's never coming back.
It is not. Now, Mike, I know you have a lot of job duties here with the team. Could one of them be to go up there and get that?
I will not be going up there to get that. That thing actually got lodged in the ceiling. That's never coming down.
It is officially above the paneling. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't drop down in the middle of a game at some point.
I think it got lodged up there pretty good.
Chamelka dropping it to Laporte. Great opportunity back to Chamelka. And it rode up his body and went wide. But Chamelka gets it to Taylor. Taylor. And that one hit Larakos. And Larakos pitches it out to center. Alekin couldn't get to it. And a big opportunity for this strong line. Chamelka on the backhand. Oh no, DiCostanzo bobbled that momentarily, but is finally able to bring it together for the faceoff to his left.
Well, yeah, it's a little shaky of a start here. I know the first goal, obviously not on him, right in front of the net there, but that second one probably one he'd like to have back.
So it's going to be Jimmy Lodge on the draw here for Watertown. He wins it forward. Moritz, the backhand pass to Timothy Payne. And Payne is kind of just temporarily pushed off the puck by Lodge, so Watertown keeps it in. One of their goal scorers, Jemayoff here. Backhand throws it in front, and that one is intercepted and dumped out by Brandon Beard. Under 4 minutes on the clock on a briskly moving first period, 2-1 in favor of Watertown. Goals by Jemayoff and Day after the Thunder started the scoring with got the second goal with Artem Alekin. So I was almost surprised to see the Thunder not score first in a game here at home.
Yeah, especially this was the best game they came out and started playing.
Lodge to Clark, who also is the bench boss of this team. That was a light wrister and went wide. And it comes back out on the half circle. Clark to Jemayoff, over to King. King head up, and he stops on a dime. Pivots, passes over to Clark, and it's a wild pass over his stick. Oh, but a nice play by Clark. It does get onto the stick of Aslan. Aslan moving in, drops it off. Oh, and fanning on the shot was Swain. So Swain, not the fastest player in the world, was trailing back there, and he couldn't do much with it. Thought I heard a whistle there, but it'll come back out into the defensive zone. Moving from right to left now, the Thunder, here on your computer screen or iPhone. And Jemayoff finds the puck right on a stick. He moves in on the breakaway, and a good save by Constantino, unable to get to the rebound, and it's still laying there. Jemayoff right back after it, and finally Joey Brennan gets it up to Adam Morgan, who was flying, but he's punched off the puck by Brennan Ash.
That was back and forth, Dave, and it's a good back check by Flago there. Here comes Morgan.
And Morgan, that puck a little bit out in front of him, and he's taken off, and now Marshall Mann will get the pass over to Day. Day with a goal, the second of the game, and he lets that one on. The rebound laying there, and Constantino's had a little bit of trouble bringing those rebounds in. And behind the net is Mann. Moritz trying to push him off, but Mann comes away with a puck again. Gets it to Coachman at the point. Coachman, more of a player known for his physicality than his defensive skills. And Timothy Payne, who has very good defensive skills, will float that one out, and it'll go back on to Cohen, or not quite, as Coachman finds a wide open Marshall Mann. Mann shooting, and up in the shoulder area, a nice save by Constantino. Now Lucchese getting up to Larakos. Larakos has been controlled fairly well by this Watertown Wolves. Roll out in front, and Lucchese wide open, but it's corralled by the goaltender Cohen, and it almost slid through that 5-hole, but not quite.
Right as you were saying, Larakos was contained. He almost added a helper. Would have got the secondary there as he just feathered a little pass through to Alekin, and those are the plays that kind of go unnoticed. Yes, it wasn't the perfect feed. Gets the puck into a dangerous area, and Lucchese nearly finishes. We're still at a 2-1 game, but Delaware's right in this thing.
Larakos, now Lucchese, and oh, that one just deflected wide, and Larakos got hit up in the face with an errant stick, and there will be a high sticking penalty called against the Watertown Wolves. We'll see if blood was drawn and see if this is a 4-minute power play. And I believe they're going to stick with 2 on this one. So the reverse broadcaster jinx comes into play. I mentioned Larakos being contained, and then he gets into 2 nice plays.
Larakos had his head down coming to the bench as well, ran into the officials. He was making the call and checking for blood. He was still looking as he headed to the bench.
Trying to generate some blood off the hit into the official. You know, you would think one player would have some sort of squirt fake
Ketchup,
blood.
ketchup, just-
Ketchup packet.
It is 4 minutes.
Well, they will give it 4 minutes, so apparently blood was drawn. And this is huge. With 1:19 left in this first period, a 4-minute power play. Lucchese unable to win the draw cleanly. It went forward, and it's cleared all the way down by King. And a good start to the penalty kill. Coming in, the Thunder at 13%, not very good on the power play, and Watertown at 80% on the penalty kill. One thing to note with this Watertown team as we tick down to a minute, plus 23 in goal differential. They really know how to rack up the goals. Morgan on that far side. Oh, a tricky low shot, but Cohen was able to get to it, and it's cleared all the way down. 45 seconds now in this period.
You said it best, Dave. Tricky low shot. And it's not that it's tricky. It's just Adam Morgan shoots hard. And from a non-dangerous area, you don't expect that. And he had some problems with that shot. Uh-oh.
This one intercepted by Schlechter. And Schlechter dished it to no one in particular, but a Thunder player. That's Swain getting it up to Morgan. We'll see what Morgan has in store here. Oh, what a beauty! A pad save / kick save by Cohen. You don't see that. That's more of a 1995 save by Mike Vernon. And this one will come back, and Noah Wild has it. 8 seconds on the clock. 2:50 on the power play. Morgan, another tricky one. That was gloved down, and it goes in the corner, and we'll run out of first period play with the score. The Watertown Wolves 2 and the Delaware Thunder 1. A very good first period, which we will recap on the Holiday Inn Express Intermission Report. More after this on DelawareThunder.com. It's the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission report. Dave Garson here with the Watertown Wolves, leading the Delaware Thunder here at the Thunderdome 2-1 after one period of play. Wolves got on the board first with a goal by Jamaoff. Bonta and King with the official assist. And their other goal scored by Day, assisted by Mann and Coachman. For the Delaware Thunder, Artem Alekin, assisted by Flego and Lucchese. Thunder got behind 1-0, tied it at 1, and now trail 2-1. Overall, a very well-played first period. Saw a lot more speed from this Delaware Thunder group, especially with Larakos out there. Noah Wild getting into the action, and overall, they played fairly well defensively, getting back on the back check and man containment in the defensive zone, and a lot of pressure. They actually outshot the Watertown Wolves in that first period 10-9. And all in all, one of the better first periods we've seen from the Thunder here on home ice. As you know, the Thunder 0-9-1, still looking for that first victory of the season against, by win percentage, the best team in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, these Watertown Wolves, who come in at 9-3. Tomorrow night, right back on the road for the Thunder in Watertown. And remember, December 17th, next week, it'll be Star Wars night here against the Binghamton Black Bears. Yes, Binghamton back in town again. And you think it's just about time for the Thunder to get that first win over the expansion franchise from up north. So again, a really well-played first period, particularly with the Thunder having several new faces in the lineup, including Larakos and number 7, Stephen Flego. Ryan Swain also out there in that first period. Players they had trouble with from the Watertown side, definitely McKechnie and Jamaoff. Jamaoff getting that goal. They rolled 3 lines pretty consistently, this Watertown team. But you can see the Thunder can hang with them, and this should be a winnable hockey game. So stay with us here. Holiday Inn Express, first period intermission. We're getting closer to the start of the second period. We'll be back with some scores from around the league after this. And back with scores from around the FPHL. Port Huron and Carolina tied at 2 at the end of the first period. Binghamton and Carolina at 1-1. And the only other game is our game here, with Watertown leading Delaware 2-1. And tomorrow night, Delaware will have a 7:30 start. Double checking the time for that one. Up in Watertown. And then back at it on home ice next weekend on the 17th. Take a look at that upcoming schedule for the Thunder. They played Binghamton quite a bit in the early going. So tonight against Watertown, tomorrow against Watertown, Friday against the Black Bears, and then a Thunder are off until Thursday, December 23rd, when they travel to Danbury to take on the Hat-Tricks. And then the next game after that will not be until Monday the 27th after the holiday break in Binghamton, and then they will see the Carolina Thunderbirds for the first time here at the Thunderdome on December 29th, a Wednesday affair against the Carolina Thunderbirds, and then back on the road in Watertown until a nice long 4-game homestand in January, the 1st, 7th, 8th, and 14th. Be sure to visit DelawareThunder.com for all of your tickets. This evening, after one period of play, it's the Watertown Wolves 2 and the Delaware Thunder 1. We'll be back to wrap up the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission right after this. And so we're back. Dave Garson, Mike Basile. Second period action just about to begin. With the score, Watertown 2 and the Delaware Thunder 1 in a pretty well-played first period, Mike.
All around. Both teams, one defensive breakdown kind of each way, cost of the goal. And then we talked about the second one by Day. Kind of was just fluky one. Moritz hit the stick. Puck didn't get elevated. Constantino was expecting something different. That's exactly what happened here. And like you said, the difference in that first period? The special teams. Delaware 0 for 1.5, we'll say, with 2:42 of time left. And, they need to get one here. And Yanni Larakos rounded up the troops here. Let's see what they could do early on this power play.
And I did confirm that blood was drawn, of course. That's why they're 4-minute, maybe just a little speck. We didn't do any kind of DNA analysis, but we know there was enough. Larakos out there with Alekin and Morgan, and we are underway. 2:39 on this power play. Morgan right into the zone. Chemelka deflected it back onto his own goaltender. Cohen, who played pretty well that first period. Actually, as I mentioned during the intermission, the Thunder outshot the Wolves 10-9 in that first period.
Yeah, and you like that. We've seen a lot of 21-17, things like that. Like, you'd love to see a good hockey game. 10-9 shots on goal. Good defense both ways.
KZ top of the circle trying to set up this man advantage, but right back down the ice. As the Watertown Wolves doing a nice job. They come in with an 80% penalty kill. This Wolves team averaging just about 5 goals a game. Compared to that, the Thunder just 3. Chemelka shorthanded, throws it out in front, and missing the puck was the forward there, DiCostanzo, and back out the other way comes Adam Morgan. Right to Lucchese, and a wicked wrister, but right into the breadbasket of the goalie Cohen.
It was Lirakos on the back check there. Morgan couldn't find the puck in his skates. Lirakos on the back check forces that pass awry, comes back the other way, and Delaware has an odd man chance. 3-on-2.
Now, unlike what we saw with Danbury and Binghamton, this Wolves team seems to rotate 3 lines pretty regularly, so they have some fresh legs out there, particularly on a penalty kill.
They spread the wealth a bit. They have some talent on every line, and that's a way you can get everyone involved in the offense.
And Mann going back after the puck. That's Michael Mann. For some reason, I called him Marshall Mann. I don't know where I got the name Marshall. Michael Mann taken off nicely there by Flego. Flego showing the body, and Moritz will try to lead it up. 1:24 on this power play as it's slipping away from the Thunder. Into the corner is Liam Little. Little mucking and grinding his way against King. And speaking of that, Noah Wild throws his shoulder. And Aslan lost it and back out the other way. McKechnie, who can be very dangerous to Mann. Mann dropping it back to McKechnie. Wrist shot and a save by Constantino, and that time positioning was strong by the goaltender.
Yeah, Constantino took a whack after from Mann, and you hear the Thunder bench yelling, hey, hey, and Flego and the ref also having a laugh here. That puck was tied up in his skates in the corner for a long time. Ended up working out for Delaware as he was able to clear it the distance. 1:03 to go in the power play. Like you said, slipping away a little bit, and these are the chances you can't give up, Dave.
Yeah, you get a 4-minute power play. You would expect to get at least 1, if not 2, potentially, but the Thunder with under a minute to go on the power play, just about 2 minutes in. Second period action. Glad you could join us here on DelawareThunder.com. New man there, Larakos. Spins on a dime, circles back, tries to set up a little bit of a screen, but he lost it and easily picked off by Chemelka. Back out the other way to DiCostanzo. Behind is Larakos, strong on the puck. Kind of an errant pass to Alekin. 30 seconds on this power play, and not a good one by the Thunder. Coachman up and off the glass. Uh-oh, this is dangerous. Chemelka and DiCostanzo moving in. Chemelka waits, and he let that one way up and wide as he had a golden opportunity. Just 15 seconds now on the man advantage for the Thunder, who trail 2-1. Here comes Noah Wild, dropping it off to Lucchese. Back to Wild, but it got lost in his skates. And Wild will try to throw it back to the point, and nobody back. Aslan will have to circle back to the neutral zone to Moritz, and the power play is over. The Wolves have killed off a 4-minute man advantage.
Unfortunate there for Delaware, Dave. Just too much choppy play in the neutral zone.
And a bad pass right there by the Thunder. Moving in is King. King trying to lay it out in front to Jamayoff, who has a goal in this game and leads the way with 10, and he scores another one right there. A beautiful wrister and a swan dive after it, and it's 3-1 Wolves. And just a lot of discombobulated players for the Thunder on that one.
That's tough, Dave. That's shooting against the grain if you're a goaltender. You don't necessarily expect the shot coming from there, but Chemaev's been really good all season. He continues here tonight with his second goal in as many periods.
And now 11 goals and 11 assists on the season for Chemaev. And that is a killer. You come off a 4-minute power play, and right after it ends, you give up a goal. Brandon Beard off the draw. Tries to punch it forward, but it going to right to the Wolves as they set it up. Chemaev right back out there as Constantino tried to throw it up. And Larakos, this would be a big time for him to step up and get one. He dishes it to Brandon Beard, and the shot is fought off by Cohen and goes back behind the net and now out to center ice. McNally to Brennan, and Brennan will dump and the Thunder will chase. As King circles back for it, eludes Clark and comes back to Moritz. Moritz got it to Swain, and then offsides go the Thunder. And this has been a weird one. It doesn't feel like the Thunder are down 3-1, but that is the case.
Yeah, it's one of those games where, once again, we talked about it in the open, the special teams play just not there for this Thunder team. And it turns into a goal the other way, like we talked about. It's just unacceptable to, turn it around that quickly and let the other team have a goal.
Like any sport, hockey, more so than others, is very much momentum shift driven, and we're seeing it here as the Wolves are trying to build off of that goal. Morgan shoots it off the right pad of Cohen, and that was a nice save by the goaltender. Day tried to corral it back towards his goalie, and a little bit of extracurriculars, or as Mike would say, after-curriculars after this play. And Coachman is in there, and he is a big man and one that likes to throw it around a bit.
You're usually going to see Noah Wild involved in that. No surprise, Coachman as well. But Wild's trying to get this team going. You can't be upset with him. He plays hard, shift in and shift out.
Exactly 4 minutes into play, second period. Came into the period down 2-1. It's now 3-1 in favor of the Watertown Wolves. First meeting between these teams this season, and they will play again tomorrow night up in Watertown. They go trying to go after it. Mann got it off today, and that one went beyond and back behind the net from the point. Coachman, and it was gloved down, but laying right there. And Day threw it out, and it goes between the legs, and it's laying on the goal line, and it couldn't be put in by Di Costanzo. It was laying between the legs of the goaltender, and it remains 3-1.
Liam Little with a heck of a play there, diving behind Constantino to keep it out.
Di Costanzo over to Day, flushing the pad out as Constantino, and he keeps it at 3-1 again, and a little bit of opening up of this hockey game here, particularly for the Watertown Wolves.
Yeah, we look at this score line, 3-1. It could be 4-1 at this point. But Mike Constantino and Liam Little, what a play by Liam Little there. You know how dangerous that is, Dave. With the puck on the goal line, you have to perfectly clear it out and send it the other way.
A fortuitous bounce for the Thunder on that one as Lucchese takes the draw. Shemelka will push it back to his line mate. And back in the zone, puck laying out in front of the blue paint. McKechnie had an opportunity, but Brennan will get it out. King will regroup in his own zone. Back out the other way now come the Wolves. Good job by the Thunder, getting it up into the neutral zone, and Larakos now has it. Trying to move that big body, and it deflected off another body in front. Maybe McKechnie comes back out to the point. Kept in by Brennan, but he lost it to Shemelka. Shemelka dishing it off here to Bonta. Bonta with an assist on the game, throws it out in front. It laid right in the crease, but Shemelka couldn't poke it home. Right back out to McKechnie, and he scores. That one, I would think Constantino would want back, as it went right through the 5-hole, and now it's 4-1.
Yeah, it's a good setup by the Watertown Wolves team. It's a shot from the slot. Not much Constantino can do, but like you said, when it goes through you, you want it back, because that one beat him 5-hole, 4-1 Watertown.
Didn't look like Constantino had the stick along the ice. It was up a little bit in the air, and that one got through the wickets for Shemelka. It's goal number 10 on the season. And Watertown, all of a sudden, up by 3. And he's talking during the intermission, Mike, about how winnable this game could be for the Thunder, especially going into this period just down 2-1, but now it's starting to get away from them.
Well, now they got to fight back, right? We talk about it. After the first and second, they've been in it. Let's see if this team could get back in this contest here.
And a offsides late call right there, and we'll take a media timeout here with a score, Watertown 4 and the Thunder 1. Back with more here on DelawareThunder.com. And so we're back right into live action as Moritz has the puck. Thunder behind by 3. They came into the period down by 1. But the Wolves with goals by Jemayoff and Chemelka. Jemayoff his 2nd of the game and his 11th of the season. Lodge had it there. Back out. A brilliant play and a nice save off a shot from Clark. Constantino diving for the puck, and he is able to cover it up and freeze it along the side of the net, and that's what Constantino needed to regain some confidence.
That was 2 huge saves. It was a great move by Day, flipping the puck over 2 defenders, creates some space for himself, finds Brent Clark all alone side of the net. Constantino had it read like an R.L. Stine novel, keeping it at 4-1.
Well, you're talking too academic for me there, Mike. We'll
Goosebumps.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you've read some Goosebumps.
Maybe. Maybe. I was reading the NHL Encyclopedia as we have a trip right off the draw. And it looks like the Thunder are going to be shorthanded as Brennan is not too happy about it.
I don't even know what that call is. He's fallen to the ice beforehand, and they get away with the hook here.
Well, and it looked like Laporte knew it because he was chuckling after the play.
Oh, yeah, he was going down. He was on edge after the faceoff. And Joe Brennan definitely not happy, and rightfully so.
Yeah, he tapped him. I'm looking at the replay now. And Laporte dropped to the ice like a sack of potatoes.
And I don't even think Laporte embellished it. I think he was going down already. That was the problem.
Yeah, he lost an edge. The ice, as you mentioned, a little choppy tonight. So a Watertown Wolves power play on the season. They are at 20%. Back at the point is King. He's there with Lodge moving to the left side of the circle. King lets a wrister go. It went up in the air, and it's gloved down by Constantino as this power play begins for Watertown, and this is crucial that the Thunder kill this one off.
Well, not only does it save a goal, obviously, Dave, but it's a momentum booster, right? If Delaware can kill this, get back into the swing of things, cut this to a 1 or 2 goal game, even going into the third, it's a brand new ball game.
And this Thunder team, although they do not have a win on the season, has shown some fight and comeback. Here's Clark along the ice, and that one laid around. It was deflected to the corner by D. Costanzo. And now Jemayoff over to Lodge. Lodge, oh, no look pass, and sliding over with no stick was Constantino. And then, well, the left mooring came off for the first time this evening.
Well, that time I would say it's on Constantino. He didn't have a stick. I wouldn't be surprised if he bumped that a little bit harder than he needed to just to make sure that popped off there. 4-1 here. Delaware doing their best to keep it at that shorthanded.
90 seconds to go on the power play. Puck comes back to the point to King. Lodge calling it for Ford at the other point. He now gets it. And he gets it over to Clark. The official did a leaping attempt at getting away from that puck, and it comes back out. Cohen. They'll send it up to the neutral zone, and the Thunder will get it back to Timothy Payne, who will clear it all the way down. Nice job on the kill so far. 1 minute to go on the power play, and we're about 7 minutes in, or make that 8 minutes into this second period. Full head of steam for Lodge. Moving in and out, and now he will go back to the point area. Wait, still has the puck, still moving around. A cross-ice pass to Clark, and a good save by Constantino, and a rebound and a save off of the Jemayoff shot. And now the Wolves keep it in. A lot of pressure here at this portion of the power play. Lodge with a beautiful dangle. Threw it out in front. And now it comes to the point to King. He will dish it off. Lodge, another beautiful dangle. Over to Jermayoff. And a two-pad slide attempt by Constantino. He's got to get back in the net. Constantino's rolling all over the place. And he will finally get to his feet. A lot going on there. 18 seconds to go on the power play. Jermayoff back to Clark. And it'll come out. Larakos was chasing, but King gets to it first. Just a chance for one more rush here for the Wolves, and they're not even going to get that. Larakos picks it off, dishes to Noah Wild, and a stick save by the goaltender Cohen. Power play over, back at the point, and that one deflected in front by Larakos and taken for the whistle by the goaltender Cohen, and a ton of action there in the last minute 30.
Noah Wild's going to have nightmares tonight. That's one of the best saves I've seen all season. That might be save number one for me. Out of position, not his fault, obviously. Great work by Larakos to force the turnover behind the play. Centering pass. All he had to do was avoid the stick, Noah Wild. But what a save as the stick was out, and Luke Cohen has probably the save of the year right now.
It was a good one, and it was not very flashy the way he did it. Just kind of casually put, oh, that one deflected out in front. Liam Little was around the front of the net. They tried to get it back out in front to him. Liam Little gets the puck back. Adam Morgan in this line, swarming with Aslan out there as well. Puck bounces up in the air, brought down by Morgan, backhander, and it goes wide. All the way back over to the other point. Ligo, try to throw it in front, and back out come the Watertown Wolves. Johnny Bonta getting it over to Chamelka, and wow, that howitzer goes well wide, comes back out. Ash, now top of the circle, just flicks it towards the net, and it's loosened some skates here. Finally comes out to Aslan. Another quick moving period. We're almost halfway through this hockey game. 4-1. Aslan threw it over, and Adam Morgan puts it in the net, and they cut the lead in half. It's 4-2.
Adamo Aslan, a beautiful move at the blue line, creates space, works it over to Adam Morgan. Good finisher around the front of the net. Back to a 2-goal lead. The penalty kill was huge. Looked like Delaware might have been reeling after the save on the other end. But wow, right back in this contest, 4-2. What a move, what a finish.
And for the 6'4 forward, Adam Morgan, that's goal number 5 on the season. And the lead has been cut in half. And don't go anywhere. This one is a hockey game. 4-2 now the score. And off the draw, Coachman will pivot, circle back, and get it to Laporte, who drew that penalty, led to the goal. Constantino, when needed, has made the big save. Swain getting it up. Marchessello dropping it to Brandon Beer. Back to Marchessello, and he'll throw it to the point. Timothy Payne along the ice, and another good save by Cohen. That one went out of play, and they're continuing. I believe it hit the netting. The officials didn't see it. It'll come out the center. But here is where the Thunder need to build on that goal and try to cut this lead even more. Swain throwing it to Timothy Payne. And Payne just shoveled it towards the boards, and he will now have to retreat into his own zone. Under 10 to play. Second period, Thunder down by 2. Here's Michael Mann. He will dish back into his defensive zone. And Troy Taylor punched it up. Now to Mann. Oh, they've got numbers here. DiCostanzo turned, let it on the net. Oh, Constantino had the glove in the air. He's getting shoved around a bit, and a little bit of a skirmish in front, and we've got ourselves a fight. Marchessello and Mann, and Marchessello getting a right in there. I believe he got another one in. A disadvantage in the height department. Mann then got one. Marchessello coming back. And down to the ice goes Mann, and that is what the doctor ordered as the Thunderdome is rocking.
That's what the crowd wanted. That's what the team needed. Constantino gets bumped, and Alex Marchessello giving it a wave around here. Having a laugh because you know that's exactly what this team needed.
Marchessello only 5'8", 170. Going up against Michael Mann, who's well over 6 feet.
Mann went straight to the room.
Yeah, Mann did go to the room. I think he caught him with a right. And a heck of a skirmish there, sticking up for the old goaltender.
Yeah, it was a good fight, and it looked like Mann had the advantage at first. The helmet popped off of Marchessello. Media timeout we're in right now, yes, but helmet popped off of Marchessello. It was just back and forth. It was a good tilt both ways. Both players had a few punches in. We hope the best for Michael Mann, obviously, and hope to see him back on the bench, but that's a good back and forth tilt.
Absolutely, and the shifts back and forth of momentum in this period quite striking as the Thunder came out. They had the 4-minute power play that was about halfway done at the start of the period. They got behind 4-1. A big goal by Adam Morgan on the setup by Aslan. And now we have ourselves a really good hockey game. And overall, it's been pretty good. The score really not dictating the way this game has been played.
No, and it's a close hockey game. A 2-goal game is obviously, you're right in it. They say that's the worst lead in hockey, right, Dave? You and I both know that because as a goaltender, you feel confident up two, right? But as soon as one goes in, that confidence goes right down. So we're back underway here as Yanni Larakos picks it up in the corner.
And Moritz will backhand it around. Closing in on 9 minutes to play. And Lucchese moving up. Dishing it over to Larakos, but it was off the pad of the goaltender Cohen and went into the corner. Here comes Larakos again, and he let that one loose. A little bit too much heat on that one. Back into the corner as the action really begins to heat up here. Puck will come out to center. Here's Jamayoff looking for the hat trick. Tries the dangle, goes all the way around behind the net. Jamayoff drops it off into the corner now. Troy Taylor getting it over to Clark, back to the point. At the point is Taylor, bounces right to Jamayoff, but it went over his stick as he had the hat trick goal on it, but couldn't put it in. And behind, Brennan will get to it. 8:25 on this second period clock. Lekin looking for his second goal. Round it. Oh, he got the shot off before he went behind the net. And now the deep pass up to Jamayoff, who is muscled off by Brennan. Jamayoff tried to throw it in front to his fellow line mate Lodge, and it'll come back into the offensive zone for the Thunder. Here's Adam Morgan, and he threw it out in front. Noah Wild grinding in the corner. Morgan wraps it around. He had an opportunity, but it went wide of the blue paint and out of play. Oh, Morgan had that far corner on the wraparound.
Cohen was looking the other way still. He didn't know where the puck was. And as a goalie, I always thought if I'm the other team, I want to set up behind that net and make that your point of emphasis. It's tough to read and react from back there.
So 4-2 under 8 minutes to play in this second period. Brandon Beard to take the draw against McKechnie, Cole McKechnie. And the crowd certainly got into it after that fight. And Mann is now coming back to the bench with some tissue paper up his nose, as he did, or was on the receiving end of one of those punches. Should I say toilet paper or tissue paper? I don't know.
Toilet. No, you said tissue. You said tissue.
Back behind the net. Nice to see that Mike listens while I talk, and Swain throws it up towards the goaltender Cohen, who has had himself a nice couple of periods here so far.
Good to see Mann's able to go in the box, serve his 5 minutes for fighting. You know, we always like to see a good tilt, but it's always nice to see both players end up back in that sin bin, hoping to do it again.
Absolutely off the draw. Swain unable to win it. Chemelka leading pass to McKechnie, and Payne again with a nice defensive play. He will streak up the left wing side. Payne with the head up, dumps it into the corner, and the crowd liking the physicality there. The Wolves will get it up to Chemelka here. Chemelka, who scored goal number 4 in this game for the Thunder. Payne again with a nice play. He just has a calming presence to him at the blue line. Monta threw it back to Coachman. Under pressure from Swain. Coachman able to get to it and wrap around. Aslan over there. Aslan unable to get to the puck. McKechnie getting it up to Bonta. Bonta moving in, and that puck hit off a Brennan stick and hits the netting behind the net. 6:41 on the clock, and it's 4-2.
Tim Payne and Joe Brennan, in my opinion, two calming presence back there on the blue line. Joe Brennan's a little bit more offensive-minded, but also very solid in his own zone. Tim Payne, more of a defensive defenseman.
Been very impressed by Tim Payne. He, as you said, and I think we both use the term calming presence, and that's what you need, especially in a league where a lot of goals are scored, and there's a big emphasis on the offensive side of the game. Here's Day. Speaking of goals, he has one tonight. Laporte moves in, wrister, and they're going for that 5-hole on Constantino as they seem to find a little bit of a creek in that area, and that one is steered into the corner. And a couple players, including Moritz, Laporte, and Lucchese, all over there. Refs letting them play. Puck squirts out to Laracos. Still looking for that first goal in a Thunder uniform. Brennan will have to pivot back and get it to his defensive mate, Moritz. Moritz with the big beard, lifts it up into the air, trying to get it over to Lucchese. Now here's Artem Alekin. Alekin with a goal on the night, looking for another second one, and a stick save by the goaltender Cohen. Day on the backhand, turned it over, comes out in front. Oh, Laracos had an opportunity. McNally back over, and that one steered to the corner again. Flego on the side of the net was Lucchese. He's trying to fish for the puck, and it bounces to Day now. Day will stop and try to pop it out the center. Goes off a skate of Flego, and now back out to the point, and McNally closing in on 5 minutes in this second period. As McNally will get it back over to Flego, and they will dump it in. This will not be an icing as it's waved off. Troy Taylor on the puck. A big pass to Jamayoff. Jamayoff looking for the hat trick, but although he had the power going towards it, unable to get to the puck. Here's Laracos, one-on-one. Laracos with Troy Taylor, and Laracos needed support. He didn't get it. He'll have to circle back. This is still onside. Brennan. Oh, he tried to lay a pass in front to Noah Wild. Couldn't do it. Here's Liam Little. Passing back. Brennan. Halfway point of the circle. Back around Adam Morgan. Morgan playing with a lot of energy in this one. Tim Payne for the point. And a glove save for the goaltender, Cohen, with 4:34 on this second period clock.
Payne got to pick his head up there. Liam Little was wide open at the side of the net. Takes that slap shot, puts it on the stick a little. It might be 4-3 right now. It's just a good scoring chance if you can go tape to stick there.
And we'll have ourselves a media timeout with the score, Watertown 4 and Delaware 2. Back with more action right after this. And so we're back to live action, 4-2, 4:34 remaining second period. Watertown Wolves, led by Jamayoff, who looks for the hat trick here on the right wing side, all the way around behind the net. And he's going to circle on a full 360. Gets it to Lodge, along the ice. Great save by Constantino as Brent Clark had it in front of the deflection. Comes right back to Jamayoff. Jamayoff, 1 against 2, comes to Adam Morgan. Noah Weil will pitchfork it forward, but it will not be enough to negate the icing and back the other way.
Well, Brent Clark's looking for his first goal of the season, only in 2 games played so far this year, but he's had 3 grade A chances, 2 in the first, 1 in this second period right there. Had a good chance to tap one home under the pads of Michael Constantino.
As a head coach, no better way to get a look at your team than to be right out there in the action with them, as Brent Clark does from time to time. Face off to the left of Constantino. McKechnie on the draw against Liam Little. McKechnie wins it to the point to Coachman. Coachman gets it away from Morgan. Shipped at by McKechnie. And now Coachman will dump it right back in. Shamelka circled away by Timothy Payne. Payne's got a man. It's Noah Wild. He finds him. Wild now looking for support. He's got Liam Little up the middle. but he couldn't get it to him. And now McKechnie will go to the corner with Morgan. Morgan pushes him off the puck. McKechnie returns the favor. Now Coachman joins the party. And Morgan and Chemelka and then McKechnie, and now Morgan. Blindly threw it out in front, and Bonta will get the puck. Noah Wild showing the body around there, and it's kept in. Adam Morgan. And again, he tries to feed Brandon Beard, and we're going to have a pause in play as the net came off its moorings on that far side of the ice. 3:22 now. Second period, 4-2.
Noah Wild looks like a battering ram tonight, bouncing off bodies. And that's his style. That's how he's played. But, boy, has he been effective. And I like J.C. Moritz tonight as well. We haven't said his name much, but in the defensive zone, it's good. You don't want your name said all that much. That probably means you're getting into trouble.
Absolutely, as Brandon Beard matches up with McKechnie here. Beard won it forward, and that's not what you want as the Wolves now clear out. Bonta to McKechnie. McKechnie circles back as he was pressured by Moritz. Moritz using his physicality there, and moving out with it is Swain to Beard. Beard will hit it off the dashers and now go and chase. Coachman hung back there a bit. Aslan now with the puck. And again, didn't really get a good look in the front of the net. Chemelka was sitting right there. Here's Bonta. Bonta with some speed. Again, trying the dangle. Forward on the smaller side. Bonta on the backhand. McNally says, I'm not having anything of it. And now Aslan will pause and pass over to Swain. Swain moving towards center. He lets fly a nice wrist shot. Wow, that was kind of surprising from Swain. And it went well wide and back out to the neutral zone. Day, who was on the score sheet in that first period, chases after it. He looked towards the slot. He had a couple men there, one of those being DiCostanzo, but out the other way comes Aslan. Aslan, oh, taken off the puck with the shoulder by King, and now wide open was number 13, Brandon Day, but they couldn't get him the puck. Now 2 minutes remaining. Mann, that went off his stick, so that will not be an icing. Moritz behind the net. Backhands it up to Lucchese. 1:50 to be exact left in this period. Thunder trailing. Larakis moving in, and he is going to draw the penalty there. And I believe it's going to be Lane King, that's going to head to the box, the assistant captain.
Well, that's a little bit what Yanni Larakos can do. Knock down a bouncing puck in the neutral zone, drive the outside with speed, draw the slashing penalty. Now Lane King, a penalty killer, Dave, will sit in the box for a couple minutes.
And this is an area we've harped on quite a bit. They had that 4-minute power play, unable to convert, but with 1:44 to go in the period, a huge opportunity to cut this to a one-goal game.
Well, 4-2 and 4-3 in the locker room is a lot different talking points.
Larakos will be right back out there. Alekin, who has a goal. Over there with Larakos, but it's picked up and cleared down by DiCostanzo. And this Wolves team has done a nice job killing off some significant penalties. Lucchese on the backhand from Constantino, now to Brennan. 1:25 left in the period, 1:39 on the power play. Turnover. Lekekna is taken off the puck, and that's going to negate this power play. And you had to do it if you're Brennan to prevent a goal.
It's unfortunate because, like we talked about, that's a huge power play that now is negated for this Thunder team. And like you said, Joe Brennan had to do it. It's a breakaway if he doesn't do it. Not a penalty shot because he's not all alone in, coming with speed. But Delaware's going to have to kill some time at the end of all this.
And we've seen a lot more speed in this game with some of the new additions from the Thunder. So 4-on-4 play should be pretty interesting here. The draw to the left of Constantino. The Wolves will likely get some power play time, about 28 seconds or so if no other calls are made. 1:10. 70 seconds to go. Second period. Larakos trying to push it back to Moritz, but he was under pressure by Coachman. Under a minute to play now in this second period. Pitched up by Flego, intercepted, and here they come. This is Lodge with a wrister, and that one is in the net. And Constantino would really want to get that one back as it's 5-2, a for his side goal.
Well, Jimmy Lodge has a good release on that wrist shot. sets up a screen on his own defenseman, J.C. Moritz, and just fires it right through Mike Constantino, and we're at 5-2.
And for Lodge, that's only goal number 2 on the season, this being his 5th game played. I would say, yeah, good release, but Constantino wants that one back for sure. And there's been a couple tonight, and you got to say, I mean, the Thunder goaltenders have kept them in the majority of the games this season. There's going to be a night or two when, you know, a couple squeak by.
Right, and you're looking for the offense to help you out.
So 5-2, 3-goal lead here for the Wolves. That one coming with 4-a-side hockey. Here's Mann. And certainly don't want another one going behind the goaltender here. Mann to the point. That's Taylor. Lets the wrister go. Oh, and it just deflected wide. Timothy Payne after 20 seconds now to go in the period. The Wolves will go on the power play in the 3rd period, barring any other calls being made. Taylor back, and he'll just let the clock tick down here as Mann waits 5 seconds. And it'll come out to center, and that'll do it for 2 periods of play. It seemed promising coming in. Thunder were only down 2-1, but now they're down by 3, 5-2 at the end of 2. Stay tuned for the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission report coming your way after this. And welcome into the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission. The score, Watertown leading the Thunder 5-2. 4 goals scored in that second period. Alexander Jemayoff with his second of the game. He started the scoring in that first period. Jemayoff at the 3-minute mark, assisted by Brent Clark and Jimmy Lodge. And that was followed by a goal by Colt McKechnie, assisted by Chamelka and Banta. And Delaware responded with the goal off the stick of Adam Morgan. It was a dazzler. The assist to Adamo Asselin and Joseph Brennan. And then Watertown with a killer. Jimmy Lodge getting the goal at the 19-13 mark. Troy Taylor and Justin Coachman with the assist. Dave Garson here, joined by Mike Basile. And Mike, you know, the period started with a pretty significant power play opportunity for the Thunder. Unable to score there. Then they get behind 4-1, cut it to 4-2, and now we find ourselves at 5-2. An odd period, to say the least.
Right, and it's one of those things where we were talking about, oh, if they could get this to 4-3, that's huge. And unfortunately, they take the penalty that couldn't be taken. Then Constantino, like we said, and Constantino will be the first to tell you, yeah, I want that one, 10 out of 10. Just squeaks through him after the screen. And now the Thunder are down 5-2, and they have their work cut out for them.
And we often talk about, you know, the simple question, well, how do you come back in a game like this? To me, the critical part is just get a goal early. You know, gain some of that momentum. Now, we're going to have a short power play in about 16 seconds for the Wolves to start this third period. Get that out of the way and go down. You're going to have to take some risks if you're the Thunder here. You're going to have to, you know, pinch the defenseman and bring all guys down low. I mean, to me, it's worth it. You haven't won a game yet this season. What in particular in the offensive zone do they need to do to generate those opportunities?
Well, I think you got to see the D jumping us up in the rush. And I know it sounds cliche, but Delaware doesn't have a ton of goals from their back end. You look to the guy in the penalty box right now, Joe Brennan. And I also look to Tim Payne. I know he says he's a defensive defenseman. He gets shots through to the net, though. He keeps them low. As long as they get traffic in front of the net, that's what they really have been doing tonight. I will say that. But they haven't been able to capitalize.
And wouldn't it be beautiful to see Larakos get on that score sheet here
in
the third period? He's a leader. You talked about that in the pregame. He's a guy that can get those big goals. I'll take 2 from him in this period for sure.
I know you will, and I would too. 2 from him. Give me 1 from Liam Little to tie this thing up, and then we'll talk about the 6th.
Well, Liam Little, I mean, does he deserve a goal or what? That guy, and we were talking to him before the game, we talk about diminutive forward. But this guy, I mean, he's in the action. He's kind of like a Danny Briere type player for the Philadelphia Flyers, who was always there when you needed him, and he really deserves to get on that score sheet.
Yeah, and you know what? What he did in the defensive zone is just as good as scoring a goal. That puck's on the red line, on that goal line. He dives in and plays it out to the corner, and that's as good as scoring a goal. It's 6-2 right now, and that could be all she wrote. Now 5-2, Delaware's still in it, and at that point, remember, it was a 3-goal game also.
And those are the guys you look to in those situations. I know we don't like to use the NHL comparisons, but you look at a guy like Claude Giroux on the Flyers. They're struggling. They've lost 10 in a row. The Islanders know all about that too. Well, I won't go there. But Claude Giroux doing the little things, right? Killing off penalties, still working hard. A guy like Liam Little on a team that hasn't won a game, that is going to be rewarded. It will get, there will be a payoff for him, and hopefully it's here in this third period, which is coming your way in a few moments. At the end of 2, it's 5-2. Watertown Wolves will be back with scores from around the FPHL and more after this.
is this
And
happening?
so we are back here. The Holiday Inn Express intermission report. Mike getting a little excited by the FPHL scores from around the league. Carolina leading Pure Huron 6-3. And Binghamton up on Carolina 4-2. And here our score 5-2 Watertown. Mike, some really cool events coming up next weekend.
Yeah, and if you weren't with us in the open today, we talked about it. We're doing something cool this year, doing something different. Some teams do a teddy bear toss. Some teams do something for the holiday, right? So the Delaware Thunder wanted to get involved in this. And we're going to do a canned food drive. So if you're coming to the game December 17th, bring a canned food here for the Delaware Thunder here. We will donate it to those who are in need. And that is also Star Wars night as well. So that is going to be an action-packed night. The fun will be rolling throughout, and those jerseys will be auctioned after the game on Live Source. So if you're here in attendance and you win a jersey, get to take a picture with your favorite player. Jersey off their back, they'll sign it, take a picture for you. Just a really great time, a great event, and we added to that great event as well with the canned food drive for the less fortunate.
Absolutely, and be sure to join Mike tomorrow night as the Thunder travel on the road to Watertown. He'll have the audio version of the broadcast on DelawareThunder.com. And then we'll be back at it next Friday, as you mentioned, here with the pregame show at 7:15. And live action as the Thunder take on Binghamton again. I keep wanting to get away from Binghamton, but they will take on the Binghamton Black Bears as we inch our way closer to third period action. Thunder trailing 5-2. And we'll be back with the start of that period right after this. And we're back with a little Sweet Caroline. Hopefully we have a sweet third period as the Thunder trail 5-2. And they will be shorthanded at 16 seconds if there are no other penalties called. Watertown Wolves come in here and played a nice 2 periods of play. The Thunder, I would say the score is not necessarily indicative of the way the Thunder have played.
No, I would agree with you, Dave. And we talked about it a little bit going into this third period. The Thunder have played well tonight, and we see a goaltending change in their crease. That's Jacob Caffrey.
Yeah, Constantino coming out. Jake Caffrey from Bethesda, Maryland, 6'1", 176. And still in goal for the Wolves is Luke Cohen, who's played himself a nice hockey game. And we'll find out. Stick with us. We'll see if the Thunder can claim victory number 1. Maybe we get into a shootout like we had.
That was fun, huh?
That was a lot of fun. How many rounds? 6 rounds?
And you see a little bit the type of player Lirakos is. Caffrey comes into the net, cold, obviously, after playing 2 periods, goes over, taps him on the pads, little words of encouragement. That's little things the Thunder have been missing that it's nice to see with the veteran presence.
Of course, I have to do that in the broadcast booth. It's okay. Okay. Lodge will take the draw against Lirakos here. Third period action just about to begin. And away we go. Lirakos wins it. Moritz back to Payne. Timothy Payne. Out of Moritz. Moritz will loft it up to Lirakos. Streaming in on that right wing side. Lirakos tried to dish it to Noah Wild. Nothing doing. Jamayoff back the other way. Power play. 27 seconds here for the Watertown Wolves. Jamayoff crosses into the slot now over to the far side. He dished it off for a second, and now it comes out in front. Caffrey pushed it back. Jamayoff looking for the hat trick. Top of the circle, now dropping it to Brent Clark, back to the point. That's King. King waits, and along the ice, and they try to test Caffrey, and he easily pads that one away. Power play is now over full strength as Alekin comes back out. Oh, that one deflected off a body in front. And Jamayoff throws it to the neutral zone area, and back out comes Noah Wild for the Thunder. Wild on a 3-on-2. Drops to Timothy Payne. Oh, that one was marked for the left corner, and Cohen just got a glove on it, and it goes out of play.
An absolutely huge glove save. I'm still mesmerized from it, Dave. That's why it took me second. And from up here, we had the perfect view. We saw exactly where Tim Payne was trying to go, but that's just the response Cohen's had most of the night.
Yeah, and it didn't cleanly go into his glove. It deflected off the top of it and went wide. So Lirakos staying out there, or coming right back out. To the point now is Flego. Flego dropping it into the corner. Lirakos tried to backhand it out in front, and now McKechnie will get it up to Bonta. Bonta trying to get it to Chamelka. Chamelka with a goal. Bonta with a light wrister that goes right around the other way. And Lirakos with a quick pass to McNally. Back to Lirakos, who will go behind his own net now. Thunder trailing 5-2. Just underway third period action. McNally trying to get it to Lirakos. Lirakos tried to one-hand it. Couldn't get to it. McKechnie cross ice pass to Bonta. Bonta stops. Throws it out in front. Off of a skate. That went off of McKechnie's skate. Now to McNally, and out it goes. Just about 2 minutes into third period play with the Thunder still down by 3. Here's McKechnie. He waits for extra reserves. Bonta, oh, he lost a wheel. Passes it back to the point. And that shot goes off of Caffrey. Back out in front. Caffrey laid the pad out. I don't know if it hit it, but it comes over to Brennan, and Brennan will settle it down a bit with Timothy Payne as defensive line mate. Liam Little, who we talked about in the intermission, cuts towards the middle. Dumps it in right into the glove of Cohen, and he will squeeze and get the whistle.
Well, it's back and forth again, and Luke Cohen has been a steady point back in that crease, but Delaware good in their defensive zone in front of Caffrey here, shutting everything down towards the front of that net.
So the face-off to the left of Luke Cohen. Liam Little will take the draw up against DiCostanzo. And now Michael Mann. And Troy Taylor will flick it up in the air. Timothy Payne Brings it down to Morgan. Morgan's had an extra burst of speed tonight. He has not been able to get that second goal yet in the game. He scored one earlier. Looking for that multi-goal game. Here's Michael Mann, who made a nice dish today. Caffrey threw out the pad, but it never got to it. Mann draws it back. DiCostanzo. Oh, he's taken right off by Noah Wild. And Wild tried to dish it over to Payne. Couldn't do it. DiCostanzo in the corner. Nice play and a nice. Oh, now it's given away to Mann. Mann back to Day. Day along the ice, just off the toe of Caffrey, back into the right corner. Here's Day. He'll backhand it behind a man. And Caffrey has been quite busy since entering this game in the third period in replacement for Costanzo. Here's Day. Or pardon me, Constantino. Taylor moving in, and that one goes high and wide on the wrister, back to King, and the net comes off, and Caffrey will get a little bit of a breather here.
Well, it's been all Watertown since we said back and forth. The last minute, this Watertown Wolves team has been the catalyst here, and they've been pushing, and they have two lines that are very dangerous. Third line, a bit more of a grinder line. Obviously, the Lodge line is very good with Jamayoff, and he's been on hat-trick watch. We've had hat-trick watch every game here.
We have, and hopefully you're not jinxing it as Jamayoff goes back in a bad way, I mean. And King walking the line, gets it right over to Taylor. Taylor will let it go. Oh, having a little bit of a problem with that was Caffrey. It does get to the corner, but right back to the point. Here's King, cross ice pass to Jamayoff. Jamayoff circling back, top of the circle. Now into the slot area, lays it on the ice, and it deflects wide. Ricochet to that corner, and it's still kept in. Ooh, a tough save for Caffrey as he had to sprawl out a bit with that right pad. Now Taylor moving in. And Morgan is going to get it, and he's going to break. Morgan after it, and he takes the wrister in an easy one for the goaltender Cohen as it's recouped by Troy Taylor, who's been quite busy out there. Jamayoff almost collided with his own player. And Jimmy Lodge will go back into that left corner. There you go. Around to Swain. Swain will dish it back to Moritz. Moritz rolls it around along the dasher kick plate. Now Moritz again with the puck. Below the goal line. And Ash will come away with it. As it's been a lot of neutral zone play here the last minute or so. Almost 5 minutes into this third period. Nary a whistle as we move back and forth. Swain throwing it to the point. Fligo on the rebound, and a goal for Brendan Beard! And it's 5-3! And that's just what you want, Mike. The response and a 5-3 hockey game.
Beard loves to score at home. This guy loves to finish in front of the net. That's a big goal by Brandon Beard. And he adds to the tally. One in Danbury last weekend. Adds another one here. Had the lone goal in that weekend for this team. And it's a different game here.
And for Brandon Beard, that's goal number 4 on the season. He cuts the lead to 2 for Watertown. And not going away quietly into the night are the Thunder. It's 5-3. Here they come again. And an opportunity on the shot by Shea Rabinowitz. In front, Liam Little scores! He did it! We called it, and he responded with it. Liam Little, and it's 5-4.
Holy smokes, it's a turnaround, Dave. 2 in less than 20 seconds, and the Thunder are right back in it. It's 5-4. It's Shea Rabinowitz's first shift of the night, and I think he's going to grab an apple on that.
And I was shocked. I go, what, number 10, Rabinowitz? Last time I saw him, he was with Binghamton, and he's out here in the third period. And Liam Little, oh, did we call it during the intermission? He gets that goal, and it is 5-4. And what did we say? Get some goals early in the period. 5 minutes in, 2 on the board, and it's a 1-goal hockey game.
And Jacob Caffrey made some good saves at that end of the ice that have flipped this game on its head.
And now McKechnie off the draw. Now it's time to keep it going if you're the Thunder. King circling back in his own zone with the puck. You can feel this game swinging the Thunder way. Dalina dumps it into the corner. Moritz after it, rolls it around. McKechnie had it roll off his stick and back out the other way. Maracus getting it to Alekin, to Lucchese, and a save by the goaltender Cohen. in the corner. A lot of energy here right now for the Thunder. Crowd getting into it. Moritz dishing off to Lucchese. Lucchese threw it out in front, and it comes off the stick and back out the other way as Delina moving up towards center ice. Delina has not played a ton in this hockey game. Back out the other way. Numbers for the Thunder, but getting back now are the Wolves. That one almost deflected into the net as it went wide. Coachman to Delina. Back up to Chamelka, to DiCostanzo. Roughs off the puck momentarily by Fligo, and a big hit by Noah Wild. And Wild comes away with the puck, reverses course, gets it over to Fligo. Fligo up to Liam Little, and he definitely deserved that goal. Wouldn't it be brilliant if he tied it as well? Behind the net, Cohen sets it up for his defenseman. The Wolves wearing their road whites, the Thunder in their home dark black uniforms. And before you could blink, we're 7 minutes into this period, already 2 goals on the board. Here's Michael Mann. Mann left it out in front, trying to deflect it in was Delina, and he couldn't get to it and couldn't get enough muster on it. Here's Timothy Payne trying to find Morgan. And he will, but Morgan just pinched off the puck. And back around is Coachman. Gets it to Day. Day wraps it around the other way to Coachman. Thunder complete the line change. Morgan trying to pick it off. Coachman back after it. We'll send it back on the backhand to Day. Day, oh, he gave it away. Morgan to Aslan. Oh, they had a golden opportunity there, but unable to cash it in. Aslan, oh, that was odd. He faked the toss at the puck, and now it comes to Brandon Beard, who has made this a 1-goal game with his 4th goal of the season, or pardon me, made it a 2-goal game, and then Little made it the 1-goal game. A lot of action going on here, folks.
Watertown is reeling. Watertown has been reeling for a couple minutes here.
And Chemayoff still looking for that hat trick. Oh, and he just fired it wide. So the goaltender change to start the 3rd for the Thunder. And we have a whistle here. I think the net came off again. And we are well overdue for a media timeout, I would think, as well.
And jump around is definitely going to get the fans up right now.
Well, they will not take the media timeout. 5-4. At one point, this was a 4-1 hockey game and a 5-2 hockey game. Constantino played the first 2 periods in net, and now it's Jacob Caffrey, the newcomer to the lineup from Bethesda, Maryland, 6'1", 176. Here's Brennan. Turns it up. Adam Morgan and Brandon Beard, who's been re-energized here in this period. That's taken off the puck, and back out the other way come the Wolves. Troy Taylor moving in, dangles, oh, a tough one, and a rebound, and I think that hit the outside of the net, and just missed going in, back out in front. So Caffrey has been a busy man since entering this game. Here's McNally, they're gonna say it's deflected. All right. Yeah, they were looking around, trying to get that delay of game, but it's not gonna happen.
The refs and the Delaware Thunder faithful in the corner making sure they knew
adamantly
it was
expressing themselves. So it's going to be Brett Clark off the draw along with Lucchese. Lucchese wins it back. Timothy Payne off the top of the glass now to Moritz, and a good breakout here. Laracus. It would be no better time than the present for him to get the game-tying goal, but we're going to have an icing here.
Well, yeah, the 3rd period has been fun. It's been back and forth. I know Delaware has the only 2 goals, but Jacob Caffrey has been very, very good back there. And it's tough, you know. He came over from Paris this weekend, came in, and made an impact right away.
I thought you were going to start speaking French to me there for a second. I don't know. We'll see. Lucchese off the draw. He won it, but Chemayoff comes away with it now. And tried to poke it in deep. It is going to come out of the zone, and it's dumped back in for a second and back out to the neutral zone. Lucchese trying to get to it. King up and into the zone now is Jimmy Lodge, but he lost track of it, and Moritz will have it behind the net to Lucchese. Just keep an eye as this period is sliding away very quickly. The good news is the Thunder have cut it to 1. Timothy Payne to Laracos. Oh, he lost it. He turned it over. Big hit on DiCostanzo, and I believe that was Lucchese getting in there, showing the body. Laracos to Timothy Payne. A strong pass there. Now to Moritz. Moritz leads it up to Noah Wild, and it rolls off his stick. Coachman will go back behind his own net.
It's been a fun third period. Brandon Lucchese, Noah Wild throwing the body around, getting this fan base energized.
Fligo lost it. Now it's Michael Mann. And he will slide it back to Coachman almost halfway through third period action. This third stanza going by in the blink of an eye. Thunder with 2 goals in the period. Brandon Beard and Liam Little. Liam Little finally lighting the lamp. Some alliteration there. DiCostanzo. Oh, and that's an offsides because that could have been a goal as Day was breaking on the left wing post.
Well, he was a step in front of the play, and that was enough to be called for the offside there. And Delaware, really since that second goal, has been pushing, haven't been able to get anything too dangerous on the net.
Face-off will be at the dot just outside of the blue line, far side of the ice. Dave Garson, Mike Basile with all the action on DelawareThunder.com. Put those seatbelts on now because we're coming in for a landing. 5-4, third period. 10 minutes to go. Brandon Beard with a burst of speed, chasing after it, but King beats him to it. He had a few steps on him. King is going to wait. Now go on the forehand and dish it off to Taylor. Taylor jumping into the play here. Taylor dropping it off, and a big shot, and that one went wide off of the stick of DiCostanzo. Back to the point is King. King waits, and he pushes it over. That was Taylor dropping it off. Now at the point, King had some space. Chamelka back to Taylor. Taylor lofts it on net. Caffrey easily corrals it for the stoppage of play.
Caffrey's been good, and that's one. Nothing too dangerous as we get our media time out here, but bodies in front of him. Let's take a quick break here. 5-4.
And so we are back 5-4, 9:22 to go. Shot right off the face-off by Lodge. Puck is laying there. Liam Little getting right in there in the dirty areas and back out the other way. Here comes Marchessello. Marchessello, right wing side, tried to drop it off to Shea Rabinowitz. Couldn't get it to him. This line has not seen much action, or at least Rabinowitz and Marchessello. Lodge will dump it into the corner. After it is Payne. Oh, he gets his backside in the way to keep the puck out in front. It goes all the way down. This will not be an icing. Cohen was calling for it. Under 9 minutes on the third period clock. Came into the period 5-2 Wolves. It's now 5-4. And Caffrey, if you're wondering, wearing number 1, who came in the goaltender position here in the third period. Jacob Caffrey, his first appearance as a Delaware Thunder player. He'll likely see some action tomorrow night as well.
Well, back last 2 seasons ago when it was the full FPHL, not the COVID year, Jacob Caffrey was with the Columbus River Dragons, played very well for them, knows the FPHL a little bit, and so far been very good in this contest.
Off the draw, stuck in some skates here. Moritz and Lucchese try to find it. It's McKechnie that comes away with it. And a shot by Bonta, and that one bounced around in front, and the Thunder will get it out. Alekin after the puck, dishes to Lucchese. Ooh, that looked like an offsides, and I don't know what they're calling here. Alekin checking his nose area for possibly a high stick. It was clearly an offsides. A late call by the official. Alekin looks to have some blood flowing. out of that left nostril.
Yeah, and they just missed the high stick there, to be honest, and there's no two ways around it. Should have been a 4-minute power play for the Thunder. That could be the difference.
Although, if you look at past circumstance, they did have a 4-minute power play earlier in the game and they didn't light the lamp. But definitely controlling the play in the middle portion of this period are the Delaware Thunder. Jamelka chips it into the zone to the right of Caffrey. Now Timothy Payne looks to charge out. He'll come out to the neutral zone. Coachman to Bonta. Bonta from right to left. Drops it off to McKechnie. Back to Bonta. Bonta to Jamelka, and it goes wide. Throwing out that right pad very quickly was Caffrey, but he did need to use it there. Brennan with the pop fly to center, and back behind the net going after it is Payne. Caffrey directing traffic. Thunder making the change as we dip below 8 minutes in this third period. The Thunder have cut it to 1. Can they come all the way back and, dare I say, get their first win of the year as well? The cross-ice pass chipped in by Morgan behind the net. Cohen stops it and shifts it out to King, and that's an errant pass that should be an icing, and it indeed will be.
Caffrey flapping the glove to make sure the refs know, hey, that's an icing here. 7:25 to go in the third. Now things have calmed down a bit. It's a lot of neutral zone play. Watertown just trying to get it deep, make sure they don't give any odd man rushes the other way. I think we're going to see a slow 7:25 here. I think Watertown's going to try to shut down this neutral zone.
And they'd be just fine with a 1-goal road victory. But the Thunder want something to say about it. Luke Casey off the side of the net. Larakis throws it back to the point. There's Swain. Oh, and it goes wide. Oh, pardon me, Fligo. And that one goes wide. And back out come the Watertown Wolves. Jimmy Lodge moving in. Lodge winds, and that one hit off the side of Moritz's stick into the corner. And now bouncing out and coming after it is King, but moving hard is Artem Alekin, who has a goal. And he tries to shove King off the puck. Coming away with it is Lodge, and he flicks it up in the air with a burst of speed, Jamayoff, but he couldn't get to it. Brendan got back just in time. The Wolves finishing a change. Thunder trying to catch him off guard, but King will get back before Asselin can get to it. Taylor threw it up the center. Payne turned it over, and here's Lodge. He's got a man breaking. Athika stands up. He throws it on net. It deflects it into the net. It goes. I think Di Costanzo is going to get credit, as that was definitely a pass, not a shot. On the flick in, and it's now 6-4 Watertown.
Well, I think that's just bad luck there. I don't know if Di Costanzo got a lot of it as he was coming through. It looks like that shot just goes up and over the pad of Caffrey. It was the turnover by Payne in the neutral zone, and the patience of Lodge waiting for Di Costanzo, who got a piece of it and tipped it over the pad of Caffrey.
It was clearly a set play there by Lodge, who was steering that towards the net to be deflected in, and that one is going to hurt, as it's now a 2-goal lead for Watertown. Watertown, who came into the game averaging 5 goals a game, now with 6. Brandon Beer threw it out in front. Opportunity for Asselin, but he couldn't get to it. 6 minutes now on this third period clock. Thunder behind by 2. They've been behind by as many as 3 two times. Here's a shot by Day, looking for goal number 2, and an easy one for Caffrey. Just an interesting hockey game. Right when you think that the Thunder are going to claw all the way back in and maybe get it tied, Watertown strikes, and that one's going to hurt.
Well, Watertown just pushed, and that's the patience of Jimmy Lodge there that really made that happen. It's hard work on both ends of the ice. No fault in that tonight. But this Watertown team's just been able to strike when they've needed to.
Off the draw to the right of Caffrey. Taylor kept it in. Jamelka trying to backhand it. He gets it to his man. That's Bonta. Bonta trying to lead McKechnie. Couldn't get it to him. Barakos, who we were expecting big things from tonight, still kind of finding his way out there in his first appearance with the Thunder. This one comes to McKechnie. The next goal in this game will be critical. And that one rolls off the stick and over the top of the net of Caffrey and comes back now out into the Wolves zone. If the Thunder get the next goal, they definitely have a shot. If the Wolves get it, this one's just about over. Here's Taylor, who's been impressive. He moves in, top of the circle, now all the way in. Backhand to forehand, and Caffrey has no problem getting to that one.
That's another good save by Caffrey. Like you said, Taylor's been good. He waits there on the backhand, wait, then is able to flip it on the forehand right into the breadbasket and cover up for a whistle. It's just a good all-around play there. And the defenseman, Joe Brennan, did keep him to the outside well. Caffrey seals the post.
And we talked in the pregame about incremental improvements. We've certainly seen quite a few here by the Thunder in this game, albeit maybe not a victory, though. There's Taylor off some skates. Jamayoff looking to get goal number 3 on the night. Oh, what a nice save by Caffrey. That shot from Lodge was a high-rising wrister, and Caffrey had to throw out the pad on the blocker. Morgan tried to get to it. Not quite in time, and now we've got Noah Wild mixing it up over here with Lodge, and they're going to fight. Wild threw in a right, another right. Hit the back of the head, and now Lodge takes Noah Wild to the ice. It's fight number 2 on the evening here. And Noah Wild trying to spark the Thunder in the final 4:43.
That's Noah Wild. He's a great, hard-working grinder, trying to get the fans up, get the crowd going, get his team back into this game. There's life here.
So we'll have a pair of fighting majors coming our way. As we move on in this third period, Watertown now up in shots 36-26 over Delaware. They lead 13-5 in that category here in this third period. Surprisingly, Delaware had the lead in shots at the end of one. So they will straighten out these penalties. King, the assistant captain, talking things over with the officials. And Brett Clark will take him to the side. 6-4. Goals this evening by Allican, Morgan, Beard, and Little. Jamayoff with 2 for the Wolves. Day, Chamelka, Lodge, and DiCostanzo for the Wolves.
Not sure what they're calling here. They're saying 5-on-5. I think they're going to each get fighting majors. Jimmy Lodge was saying, I barely got a glove off.
Well, they eventually both came off.
No manpower change here.
Again, it will be critical. The next goal goes without saying. If the Thunder get it, that leads to an opportunity to pull the goaltender as the final moments wane in the period. Under 5, 4:43 to go to be exact. Larakos on the draw. Number 19, the newcomer to the lineup. Expecting big things from him with Lucchese and Allican out there now. Moritz and Brennan at the points. Comes back to Moritz, left point. Moritz dumping it into Lucchese. Puck bounced down in front and now cleared. And we have a stoppage of play. The mooring comes off again.
But that's something I don't understand. The puck's out the other way. The goalie already has it back on the moorings. Why are you blowing it dead?
Yeah, fix the mooring and keep play going. Especially when the official was lagging behind the play anyway. You might as well fix it. But they blow it dead. And as Mike said, this final 7 minutes is crawling its way to a finish.
Well, we said it would because Watertown took the lead and they just slow the game down. They got some veterans on this team, and they're able to slow it down and play under their pace.
Brent Clark won the draw. Brennan back in the neutral zone. That puck deflects and bounces down at the top of the circle. The Wolves took an early lead in the game, 1-0. As a backhander on Caffrey right there by Jamayoff, and a nice save. At one point up 2-1, 4-1, 5-2. The Thunder got it to 5-4, but now it's 6-4. Here comes Lucchese, break it in, and he shoots, and it's a stop, and the net comes off. Cohen with a big save as he kept the paddle on the ice and dragged the left leg behind him. And with just about 4 minutes on this clock, that was a great, great chance right there for the Thunder.
Yeah, Liracco springs him through the neutral zone with a little bit of speed, and that's all Lucchese needs. Unfortunately for him, he had no shot from that angle, had to try and go to the forehand, and nothing came of it. And obviously the net comes off there. It's a great little pass by Yanni Liracos.
Liam Little off the draw. He finally tickled the twine tonight with a big goal. As that one went off his stick and landed in the lap of Aslan. Now it's picked up, and the other way comes Michael Moore. And right back come the Thunder. Little got tripped up there, no call. DiCostanzo has it ricochet up to center. Now to Moore on the cross-ice pass. Or pardon me, Mann. Mann into the corner. Mann tips it back to Day. And right over to Aslan, and he breaks out. 3:27, third period clock. Thunder down by 2. Aslan bumped off the puck. And reversing course is DiCostanzo. And he will backhand it over to Day. That's a nice pass. Day settles it down. He waits for support. He's got King. King rolls it around to Day now. Day threw it out in front. Nobody there. Morgan lost it off his own stick. And now getting hit up in the face was DiCostanzo. No call, as that could have been a high stick. Adam Morgan lost the puck. And now a lot of just back and forth non-offensive opportunities going on. And here comes Day. He's got Chamelka breaking to the net. Day flicks it off to McKechnie. McKechnie backhands it wide. And Lucchese, speaking of the backhand, gets it up to Morgan. McKechnie to Bonta. This period is just flying away. 2:37 now. Here's McKechnie. He stops on a dime, shoots, and it deflects off of Moritz's stick and out of play. Deep breath, everybody. 6-4.
Deep breath for sure. I'll keep a look at the crease there down at Delaware's end for you, Dave, because I know Caffrey's going to be coming to the bench probably as soon as that puck goes into the offensive zone. Down 2 with 2:30 to play.
You remember back in the day, coaches would wait until minute 10 to go to pull the goalie, but not anymore, especially when you're down by 2. Get them out early. Off the draw, Thunder have possession. Fligo had it momentarily. Chamelka lost it. Timothy Payne gloves it down. He backhands it up. Liracos. Oh, he had a feed to Alekin. Couldn't get it all the way there. 2:15 now to go. Keep our eye as Mike set on Caffrey. Thunder in dire straits to end this losing streak to start the season. It's at 10 games. Coachman doing a great job, the veteran, just letting the clock tick down. Chemayoff moving up. Chemayoff is pushed down by Fligo, and it comes back in the zone. We'll look for the goalie to go here on the rush up the ice. Timothy Payne to Liracos. Caffrey not even looking at the bench right now, and the Thunder cannot get organized. This is not what you want to see. Puck just bouncing around here in the neutral zone. Coming away with it is DiCostanzo. Gets by Beard. Now over to Chemayoff, and we have a penalty, and I believe we're going to have a high stick coming up against the Wolves. And DiCostanzo not liking the call, but you could potentially have a 2-man advantage here with the goaltender being pulled.
Yeah, there's a lot of life now. Delaware's got a chance, and it's not a good penalty. An offensive zone power play. They're going to head to the Thunder, and Steve Gannon's talking to the official here. I wonder if he saw something that the official did not, as obviously there was a lot of disapproval from the Wolves bench.
So the face-off to the left of Cohen. Goaltender still in the net. Kind of surprising here, especially down by 2. Liracos keeps it in the zone. Dishes it off to Morgan. Top of the circle, wrister. Cohen with a save. Beard taken off the puck nicely by King. He will loft it out. It's kept in. Liracos, what a play. Gets it to Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan moving in. Oh, and it rolled off his stick. Goaltender still in there. Caffrey is not even inching his way out as this puck is cleared down. Very interesting there as Caffrey will settle it down, as it appears the Thunder are finally going to try to make the decision. Caffrey's looking to the bench. He's saying, do you want me? And nobody appears to want him over there. Here comes Morgan. 50 seconds to go. It's deflected. Liracos, what a pass! Oh, Lucchese had a yawning net. Couldn't get it. Goaltender is now out. And a hand pass called on the Thunder, and this one's coming out to the neutral zone.
Now I think we'll see Caffrey back in his net. I think Delaware took a little bit there. They're up a man. Try to keep the momentum going on the power play here. You wanted the 6-on-4.
Well, if you're down by 1 and the clock's running, they finally stopped it. You're down by 1, I can understand, but you're down by 2. So you need a quick goal. Get the extra man out there, and then you can decide whether to bring him back out or not.
Oh, it's going to be a penalty on Swain. I think it's a delay of the game, as they say he covered the puck in the offensive zone.
So the enclosed hand, and I got distracted because I think I saw a Clark Griswold Chicago Blackhawks jersey in the stand. How can we not mention that? Little festiveness here during the holiday season. Not too festive for the Thunder, as they might go to 0-10-1 on the season. So it'll be 4 aside, and we'll see, and an offensive zone draw for the Wolves, which they win, and they push forward. McKechnie with the puck. 35 seconds now to go. Back at the point is King. He winds. Oh, he hit the post. He hit the left post. Now King tried to get it to McKechnie, and the Thunder are just running out of time. 25 seconds. Here comes Moritz, moving in from his defensive post. He let that one on Cohen, and an easy one for him. Bounces out in front. Brennan, and the goaltender is not leaving the net. Surprised again, as that's an easy one.
Well, 12 seconds left, 2 goals. At this point, probably they're thinking, all right, they did give it their best effort tonight. I will say, I think this was the best full 60 minutes we've seen from the Thunder. Do I think the third, this period, could have been a little bit better? Yes. But that first and second right in this game, I know it was 5-2. I know they came back and scored those 2 goals in this third period. But after that second one, they didn't feed off it like I thought they would have.
The beginning and the end of the period were not what you want to see, as Morgan lays on the ice. Back out the other way. Here comes Mann all by himself on a 2-on-0 with McKechnie. Back to Mann, they score. Michael Mann with the goal, and it's 7-4 now. And for Mann, that's goal number 6 on the season.
Well, Delaware's obviously pushing forward, trying to score one with a few seconds left. Morgan,
to be exact now.
Morgan dives down to try and make a play. Nothing doing. Watertown back the other way, 7-4.
And I have to say, Mike, we've seen most of the teams now in the league. I'm not overly impressed by the Watertown Wolves. I think this is a team the Thunder can stick with as the puck drops for the final time tonight, and that'll do it. Final score, Delaware Thunder go down 7-4. They drop to 0-10-1 on the season. And the Watertown Wolves get victory number 10 on the year. They go to 10-3 to stretch their first place lead in the FPHL. We'll take a timeout. We'll wrap it up here from the Thunderdome. Once again, final score, Watertown 7 and the Thunder 4. And so we're back. Final score this evening from the Thunderdome. The Watertown Wolves 7 and the Delaware Thunder 4. And as you mentioned towards the end of the game there, Mike, one of the better efforts by the Delaware Thunder this evening.
It was a good effort. Obviously the score line doesn't tell what it really was. It was a 6-4 game. Score a late goal when Delaware's pushing. You know, it is what it is. But now this Thunder team has to really come together. Play the same team tomorrow, but like you said, they know they can stick with this team. They know they can play with this team. And now Delaware needs to flip that on its head, figure out how to get the win tomorrow, and really play a full 60 minutes.
Goals this evening by Artem Alekin, Adam Morgan, Brandon Beard, Liam Little. And for the Wolves, Jamayoff had 2. Day, Jamelka, Lodge, DiCostanzo, and Mann finished it off there at the end of the game. Final again, 7-4 tomorrow night. Join Mike flying solo on the radio on DelawareThunder.com. And then we're back at it next Friday, Star Wars night, food drive, and much more from the Thunderdome. For Sue Lamb, Mike Basile, Dave Garson saying good night, good hockey. Once again, the final score, Watertown 7 and the Delaware Thunder 4. Talk to you tomorrow night.